Hi, Tommy Oldham here. And yes, today it starts. European Championships. I've been counting down for this for months, and a lot of people looking forward to it. It's in Germany, and for a change, it's nice to have a tournament where the focus and emphasis is on football. None of the bollocks we've had recently about previous tournaments in Russia and Qatar. This is all about a tournament where we're going to see stars on show, fantastic stadiums, fans singing their hearts off, top players, and I'm really looking forward to it. As I go along through the groups, I'm going to keep it simple. When I do the groups, I'm going to tell you the teams in order of how I think they will finish in the group. If you haven't already looked, check through my back catalogue. I did a little brief when the draw was first made. I've also been doing daily stats, and they're going to carry on throughout the tournament as well. I'll throw a couple in here as well with some teams. But I'm looking forward to it. Later on today, I'll be en route to Dusseldorf, having a night in Amsterdam as well. I've got a couple of predictions from a few people also about the Euros. So, let's get started. Now, while we look at the teams that have qualified, a few of the big hitters who didn't qualify. The biggest team probably not to qualify this time was Sweden. Wales didn't qualify. Greece, the 2004 winners, didn't qualify. Norway's Erling Haaland, yes, his boys didn't qualify. Iceland, who knocked England out in 2016, didn't qualify either. North Macedonia, who made their debut in the last tournament, and Finland, none of them qualified. So there's a bit of a fresh. There's only one new team, it's Georgia. Serbia are playing at the tournament for the first time as Serbia, but majority of it are old teams, existing teams, teams that have been there before, familiar faces. Group A. In Group A, the team I predicted to win the group is the host nation, Germany. Yes, under Nagelsmann, they've sort of started sorting themselves out, putting themselves back together after what can only be described as a tricky period where they haven't really kicked on. We know they struggled at the last World Cup not getting out the group stage, and on home soil they'll be eager to impress. Tony Cruz will look at this as one final dance, while young Florian Wirtz, Jamal Musiala, Sane, Germany still have a good team and should still at least get to the knockout stages. Hungary, my tips to be runners-up. Now, Hungary are now at their third consecutive Euros, and each European Championship they've built and improved. They were unbeaten in qualifying. With Dominic Szoboszlai, Willi Orban, two of the players in this team, Hungary should fancy their chances and should comfortably get through this group stage. I could actually see them not losing a game but still finishing runners-up. Scotland, again at their second consecutive European Championships. At the last one in Euro 2020, a lot of the emphasis was on them playing England, and they managed to get a draw. But having never qualified for the knockout stage and not drawing England, this is the best thing for Scotland, as the emphasis now is getting out the group. Players such as John McGinn, Scott McTominay, Billy Gilmore, plenty of players playing across Europe. Although they'll miss Ferguson, they still have a decent team, a team that beat Spain and Norway during qualifying, and they will have their eyes on a third place finish. They've got a very tough start, Germany, in the opening group game, but with a big travelling army, they will do their best to have a go at a German team that, although have shown improvement, haven't been at their best in recent years. And my final pick to finish fourth is Switzerland. Switzerland have been now regulars at tournaments for many seasons, but at this tournament I seem to think that just maybe they've took a step back really. They don't really have a lot of standout players other than Shaqiri, Okafor, and also young Riedler. But at the end of the day, they're not really giving me a lot of signs of that they're going to do anything, and maybe this is a tournament just a bit too far for them. They do have strengths in goalkeeper Jan Sommer, in defender Manuel Akanji of Manchester City, Fabian Schär from Newcastle. They still have Shaqiri in the team, and they also have Embolo if he's fit. But whether or not this will really click on the back of last Euros where they stunned France. Quite a few people will be hoping that maybe this time Switzerland can push on even further. Group B is an extremely tough group. Some say it won't be as tough as the group that contains France, Holland, Austria and Poland. This group alone includes former winners Spain, World Cup semi-finalists in 2018 Croatia, holders Italy and Albania. Spain themselves have not been the same Spain as the team that won Euro 2008 and Euro 2012. A team that saw a lot of tiki-taka football, a good blend of Real Madrid and Barcelona players. But they still have a good few youngsters coming through. One to look out for is Lamine Yamal. They still have great experience in Alvaro Morata, Joselu, Nico Williams and Rodri are still good players, and I still expect them to win the group. They did only lose once in qualifying and were pushed all the way by Scotland, but still scored 25 goals. Semi-finalists at the last Euros, they're still seen as outsiders. Italy are the current holders, but struggled to get out of the group and only just qualified at the end. They didn't even qualify for the last World Cup. Gone are the old school guard of both Bonucci and Chiellini, who are the heart of their defence. But they still have some decent players. Chiesa still plays for them. Baston, Di Lorenzo, Schumacher, and look out for Wilfred Gonetto. I still expect them to be runners-up and scout the group. Croatia should also get through. Again, they have an ageing squad. Could this be Luka Modric's final dance? Pezovic isn't getting any younger. Baturuna is a good young player who's been Modric's replaced in the long run. And Manchester City's Gaviol, who can score and defend as well, and was one of the star players at the 2018 World Cup. If they beat Albania and manage to get a draw off either Spain or Italy, they should go through as one of the best third place sides. Albania did qualify for Euro 2016 and beat Romania. They are now managed by Silvinho, the former Arsenal defender, the Brazilian lad, but have drawn probably one of the toughest groups of all. Don't get them wrong, but Albania do have some players playing out throughout Europe. Heysay isn't a bad player. Broja, who's Chelsea but was on loan last year, and Yasa Asani are players to look out for. Albania will do their best and probably the sort of team that will take a lead and throw it away. But if they can just get one win, it opens the door for them just pushing to try and sneak a third place finish. Group C. This group contains England, Denmark, Slovenia and Serbia. England are overwhelmingly one of the favourites. They were finalists and runners-up at the last European Championships, losing on penalties to Italy. They have a good upcoming young squad. Players such as Bellingham and Foden, Bernardo Saka, young Wharton. These players, along with the experience of Harry Kane, Jordan Stones, Jordan Pickford, are expected to click on and go for this. On their day, they can match anyone. There is plenty of goals in this team. But Southgate needs to set these up to attack. He's previously said in tournaments about, it's been for the next tournament. Not this time. Fans were expecting much from this England side, and they're expected to do well. They should win the game comfortably. Although knowing England, at the last European Championships, it was the first time they'd won an opening game in the tournament, as they often have potentially slow starters or make hard work of it. Second place, I've gone for Serbia. Serbia themselves are in the European Championships for the first time as Serbia. Dusan Falovic is a strong player. He knows where the back of the net is. Milenkovic and Mitrovic are both good players. However, both have been playing in the Saudi League. They still have other players as well. Tadic, Luka Jokovic. They have goals in this team. Kostic is Europa League winner previously with Eintracht Frankfurt. And on the back of a disappointing World Cup campaign, they'll be looking to use their strengths and click on, which is why I think they will finish second. Slovenia, yes. Slovenia are my tip to finish third. Not a lot of people talking about Slovenia, but one advantage is their striker. Benjamin Sesko has goals in him. Sam Fitzpatrick plays for second division Bordeaux, but is still highly rated and has been one where a lot of big clubs are sniffing around. Again, if they get a draw and one win, there's no reason why they can't get third place and potentially be the outsider to qualify. Denmark still have a strong squad, but how much is left is there in Christian Eriksen? They have goals in Rasmus Haaland, who kicked on after a slow start. They still have Kasper Schmeichel, Joachim Andersen, Simon Kjær and Andreas Christensen, so still have a strong defence, but they haven't really pulled many feathers and had a disappointing campaign at the last World Cup. Have they got over that hangover? On their day, Denmark, who were semi-finalists at the last Euros, could still reach the knockout stage, and on their day can give anyone a game, but on the other day, they can just look like another team at times that look lost. Group D. France are many people's tournaments. They seem to be throwing out young players left, right and centre, as well as some of the more experienced players such as Kante, who's just been recalled up. Kylian Mbappe has had a decent season but was disappointed not to win the Champions League with PSG. With a move to Real Madrid lined up, and having already won a World Cup, he will be previously desperate to win the European Championships. Young Bradley Barcola is another one to look out for, and Zaire Emery. France should win this tournament and are favourites to go all the way for the tournament and win it. But then we've seen things what happened with France before, and things haven't always gone to plan with them. Second, I've surprisingly gone for Austria. A few people may think that they didn't have the best qualifying period, but since going in, Ralf Rangnick has got them organised. Arne Natovic still has scores, and Marcel Sabitzer is still a decent player. Third, I've gone for the Netherlands. They'll be gutted by the blow that Frankie de Jong is now out, but they still have Virgil van Dijk. They still have Nathan Ake. Their centre-backs, De Ligt, is where their strength is. They have Simmons, they have Depay in attack, and they'll be looking to go on and should get out the group as a potential third-place team. Finally, we have Poland. It is Robert Lewandowski's last stand, his final tournament. He's been a goal-scoring machine for him, but hasn't had a great season at Barcelona. Look out for Damian Szymanski, also another player who's tipped to have a good future. And Aston Villa's Cash. For many years now, people have talked about Belgium's golden generation. Will they do it? Will they not? They were disappointed at the last World Cup, but on this occasion now, the experienced Kevin De Bruyne, Romelu Lukaku in attack, straight away there is goals and creativity in that team. Young Johan Bakayoko, Jamie Doku, Vermeeren and Yuri Tillemans with experience. Belgium not just should get out of this group, in my opinion, could actually go on and win the tournament this year time. After many years of disappointment, they'll really fancy their chances of finally bringing the trophy home. Despite the ongoing conflict, Ukraine have still got a decent football team and are still playing football. A lot of their players are now playing across Europe for many reasons, which means they're playing a lot of top flight leagues. They qualified for the Nations League playoff and are not a bad team. Some say it's even better than the team they had at Euro 2020. Mudryk and young Sudakov, who banged the goals in for fun for Girona. They'll be aiming to push on and get out the group, not just to win the tournament if they can try to, but to give the whole country, the whole squad a lift and to show the message that there is still football being played despite the trouble at home. Romania have been on and off appearances at tournaments. For every tournament they qualify, they then have a gap and come back. Historically, they've always been what you call, not at the best, but a medium-ranked team. They won their qualifying group undefeated, but they have a big challenge ahead. Although they're in a group that will they fancy their chances on a day where anyone would fancy anyone. Stanisic is a decent player. Hadji, son of legend Georgia Hadji. But they'll need to put in some good displays and often at times can play poorly, but should finish in third place. And again, we'll look at this as one of these who will fancy one of the best third places if need be. Slovakia, again, are in another tournament. They qualified for the previous Euros. Their star man is Milan Skriniar, but Thomas Suslov is one to look out for as well. They were qualifying him. They were runners-up in qualifying, but haven't really set a light on fire. and have struggled at times since qualifying. But don't be surprised, on their day, they can cause a shock and can give teams a good run for the money. And we're now on to our final group, Group F. Portugal are overwhelming favourites, with Cristiano Ronaldo, Leo, Bruno Fernandes and many other great players in this team. They're really looking to repeat the success of 2016. Cristiano Ronaldo, who is now the record goal scorer, will compete with Modric to see if they could become the oldest ever goal scorer in this tournament. But at the same time, as the later stages, because Cristiano Ronaldo has to remember there is a team and showboating of his own basically cost them. Georgia, my tip to finish second. Yes, it's a surprise pick. They qualified for the Nations League playoff. They've previously been involved as the Soviet Union. Dynamo Tbilisi have won a European Club trophy before, but while they've got Kavicha Kachishvili, a player who's creative, who's not afraid to run at players, who'll be looking to make a mark, that could be the key for Georgia finishing second. They know a win and a draw could be enough to see them through. Turkey, my tip to finish third. They were very, very disappointed at the last Euros after being tipped in as outsider. Young Güler's had a decent season towards the end, breaking into and scoring goals for Real Madrid. Kenaloglu is still one of the main men, and Turkey will be looking to put the disappointment of the last Euros behind them. And finally, Czech Republic. They put one of the unluckiest teams ever, losing the final to golden goal in Euro 96 and losing to Spain to the silver goal in 2004. They have a great striker in Skic, who scored that amazing goal against Scotland at the last Euros. But on this occasion, I'm starting to look and think maybe this time around, it'll just be a case of how soon they'll be on the plane back. What's your prediction? Who's going to win the Euros?
Germany.
And who's your prediction to be out the outsider?
Denmark.
Right, thank you. Trev, who's going to win the Euros?
I don't usually say it, but I do think England this time. Closely followed by France, maybe. I think Germany under Julian Nagelsmann has got a bit of a turnaround. They might be a bit of a surprise. They've had a bit of poor form going to the tournament. But as hosts, I think they might give it a good shot.
Brilliant. Finally, you have to take your clothes off on a good time.
What's that?
You have to take your clothes off on a good time.
Don't tempt me.
Cheers. Big man, you looking forward to the European Championships?
Yeah, I am, yeah.
It's not quite Oldham Athletic though, is it not?
No,
No.
we'll be there soon enough.
Who's going to win it? Who's your prediction?
Portugal.
Who's my surprise package to look out for?
Dutch.
Who's going to be the top goal scorer?
Mbappe.
And who do you think is going to flop?
England.
Fair point, I'll hold you to that. So thank you for all your predictions, those who've made them online, and for those watching. Let's see how we get on at the end. Overall, I'm going to go for Belgium to win. Belgium-France final. England semi-final. Anyway, I'm Tommy Oldham. Enjoy the Euros. Keep the faith. I'll see you on the terraces.